So you mentioned persuasion. I know you've coined the term persuasion ladder, right?
Yep.
For those who are not familiar, what is it? Why does it matter? Let me start there.
Well, the reality is that there are all these different nodes on the way to actually changing behavior, right? And most organizations believe that if you just kind of throw out an offer, an idea, that then people's switch is going to get flicked in their head. And then they're like, okay, now I'm going to do it. Here's my money, right? And in reality, it takes a lot longer than that. I mean, you know, as well as anybody, right? We've been talking about this for decades that it takes, 7 impressions or 9 impressions or whatever for somebody to actually make a decision. I forget the actual, I think it's 9, whatever. But that is really true, generally speaking, right? That you have to be enveloped by an idea in order to make a discernible behavioral change. And so this idea of the persuasion ladder sort of marries to that concept, right? That you have to say, what's the first thing we want to tell somebody? And then that leads to the next rung, which is the next kind of question or conclusion they have, which leads to the next one, the next question or conclusion they have. And so essentially it's a series of questions that the consumer asks themselves or asks of themselves on the way to parting with their money. Right. So it's almost like a sequential FAQ, I think is the best way to think about it. We used to execute these projects for clients a lot. We do it that way. It's like, okay, the first question somebody's going to have is, what do you sell? Second question is, why is it good for me? Third question is, what does it cost? Fourth question is, what if I don't like it? How do I return it, et cetera? And you sort of walk up that ladder until you get to the part where there aren't any objections anymore. And this is how good salespeople operate, innately. Like this persuasion ladder is how good salespeople sell. They just don't have a name for it because they're not in marketing.